Welcome to all of you for this training program. I think my voice is audible to all of you. My voice is clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine. So I have already started the recording of the entire process, entire class. So immediately after the class, I will share the video recording, screen recording of this class. I'm just sharing the.
The voice is breaking.
Uh, my voice is breaking. Uh,
Yeah.
Others, Ramakant, my voice is clear or breaking? Ramakant, Ajit, Himoz, is it the same for you?
Now it's clear.
Okay, okay, fine. So uh, this is the first session, and this session, okay, this session is for SAP overview, SAP architecture, and the history of the SAP, the very basics of this SAP program. So I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation, and I will share the PowerPoint presentation, and from the PowerPoint I will describe one by one the basics. So I'm just sharing the screen now. So my screen is visible now. My SAP screen is visible.
Yeah, yeah. Screen is visible. The audio, I think there is some intervention is there.
Sir, you can join again because others they are facing no problem in audio. So you please just join again. Then I think it will be clear.
Okay.
You can log out and join again. Now it is okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So I am starting with the PowerPoint. My first slide is regarding the introduction of SAP. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
uh, this is regarding the introduction of SAP. All of you know SAP is a software, and ERP. It is an ERP software. Okay. So as it is a ERP software, so it must be owned by a company. Somebody, it is because it is a proprietary software. It is a software having some trademark, some logo, some copyright. So it is owned by a company definitely. Okay. And SAP software is owned by the company. The name of that company is SAP SE. Okay. It is a software company. This software company owns this software SAP, and the full form of SAP is systems, applications, and products in data processing. And the name of the company is SAP SE. Okay, and SAP SE is the company. The headquarter is in Waldruf, Germany, and it has subsidiaries located all over the world. So the name of the company is SAP SE. So what is SE? SE is the uh, that is a suffix which is added after the name of the company.
Yes, sir.
So in India, normally we use the word, in case of companies we use the word limited or private limited. That is LTD or PVT LTD.
But your voice is not audible at all.
Padi sir, just log out and again log in. Padi sir, you please log out and again log in. I think after logging in again, things will be cleared. Just a minute.
Hello.
Padi sir, please log out. Just a minute.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Padi sir, please log out and again join sir.
Okay. Okay.
I think in the second time it will be clear.
Okay.
Sir, now the audio is clear. Sir, now my voice is audible. Ajit, Jitendra and Ramakant, my voice is clear to all of you.
Yes.
Himos, my voice is clear, na?
Yes, sir. Audible. Your voice is audible, sir.
But Mr. Padi is facing problem. I have told him to just log out and again log in, so that I think in the second time it will be clear. Just a minute, I am talking to him. Okay, he is logging out. सर जॉइन करंतु आउ थरे मु भाबुची सेकंड टाइम जॉइन करले मे बी क्लियर आसीबा Sir, now my voice is clear. Now it is audible. Sir, my voice is audible now. Sir, voice astula second time. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So we will continue then. Okay. So okay. So so the name of the company is SAP SE. Actually, in India, any company which is registered as per the Companies Act, they use the word private limited, PVT Ltd, or limited after their name. So the companies which are registered in Germany, they use the word SE after their name. Similarly, in the companies which are registered in US, they use INC, Inc. after their name. So this is the things which is there in case of Germany. So the name of the company, full name is SAP SE. Okay. As you know, SAP is an ERP software, but what is ERP? The full form of ERP is obviously Enterprise Resource Planning. So three things are there: enterprise, resource, and planning. So what is enterprise, what is resource, and what is planning? And what this software actually do to make the planning of the resources? We know that enterprise means any organization whose aim is to earn profit. Normally it is a business organization. And what is resource? A resource is a word which is very commonly used in economics. Okay. So in the economics, it has already been described that for establishment of any business, commercial house, or running of for any business, we require 5 varieties of resources. Okay. These are your main material, money, machine, land, etc. But most importantly, 5 resources are required. So whether it is manpower, whether it is material, money, machine, these are very vital resources for any organization. And then the third word is called planning. Okay. So planning is something to be forecasted too early, but in a systematic manner. Okay. So that is your planning, prior forecasting of something which is going to happen in future in a very technical way, that is called planning. So this is a software, ERP software, but the basic purpose is to plan the resources. How to plan the resources? This software acts in such a way that you can make utilization of your resources in the best possible manner. Suppose a business is flourishing and another business is sustaining losses. So what is the difference between these two business? The business which is a market leader, which is flourishing, which is earning huge profit, they are always able to effectively manage these 5 varieties of resources, what I told. But the business which cannot manage their 5 numbers of resources in an effective manner, they always have to face the loss. Okay, they have to go to the backside of the business. So this software, ERP software, in this, by using of this ERP software, the resources can be used properly. How it is possible? Because main, material, money, machine, land, how a software can manage the resources? Actually, software do not manage the resources. Resources is always managed by the person concerned in the business, who are helm of the affairs in the business. But managing the resources, they need information. Okay, they need data or information. So when the data or information is always on the real time, is always available at their fingertip, so these people, they can manage the resources. Let us take an example. Suppose there is a very small business. Maybe take an example of a sole trader or sole proprietor. So this sole trader or sole proprietor, the business may be limited to a single shop. So within that single shop, the businessman effectively manages the manpower or the employees who are employed, the stock or materials, money is concerned, it can be effectively managed, because and all the machines, if it is used, it can be also effectively managed, because everything happens in front of that person. That particular sole trader is associated with all the activities. But when the business becomes big, when it cross beyond the boundary line of a say particular local area, or it crosses the boundary line of a particular state, even if it crosses the boundary line of a country, when there are many production facilities or many plants, when there are many warehouses, when there are many bank accounts, many offices, marketing offices, procurement offices, many in different places there are different branch. So in this case, managing the people, managing the material, managing the machine, managing the money, these are very much difficult, because the people who are sitting at the central location, who are at the helm of the affairs, it is beyond their control, because they are not associated with the day-to-day activities of each branch or each location, because people are scattered, functions are scattered through different geographical areas, maybe out of the countries. So in this case, to control the business activities, to effectively utilize the resources, because effectively utilize of the resources is the key to success. So for effectively utilization of the resources, it needs the data or informations with respect to these resources on a real time basis. So what is real time basis? Let us understand what is real time information. Let us take an example. 30 years back, all our commercial banks, they don't have computerization. Even if it was computerized, but the operations of the different branches, they are not combined from one place to another. Informations were not centralized. How do you know this? Because in this case, suppose you have to deposit the money in your bank account, then in this case you have to personally go to your bank branch, deposit the money or withdraw money, and maybe at the end of the day or on the first half of the next day, the information would be updated in your accounts. Any activities, you have to go to your personal branch. But of late, these commercial banks, their operation is also diversified throughout pan India. So they started adopting ERP softwares. Let us take an example of State Bank of India. State Bank of India, they use a ERP software which is called Finacle. So this Finacle software, it is kept in a server, it is kept in a location, a central location in Mumbai, and that server or that software, ERP software Finacle, is kept in a server, and all the branches, all the ATMs, all the persons working in different branches, they are seamlessly connected to that Finacle software. So what is the benefit? The benefit is you can deposit money, you can withdraw money from any place without waste of your time to physically going to your branch. And once you do any banking activities, the information is updated on a real time basis. Immediately the information is updated. Within a fraction of second, the account balance is updated. So that is the usefulness of your ERP software. So any place, any location, but the information is processed in a single software. It's a very big software. All the operations are integrated and everybody is connected through the internet to that particular server, to that particular software which is kept in that server, and on a real time basis, in a fraction of second, everything is updated and the report is prepared. So the better part, the best part of the ERP software is this software can process the information from the different locations, which is processed by different persons in different locations, but these are immediately updated in the software itself, and the report is ready, updated information is ready. Suppose 30-40 years back, any company, any manufacturing company or any big companies across pan India, if they want to know the information of the stock position of a particular date, in that case what they used to do, they call the informations from different branches or different locations, what is the stock position, and when all the informations comes to the head office, these informations are to be consolidated, and after consolidation, only the business owner or the persons who are managing the business, they could know what is the position of the stock. But asking for the data and submitting the data and consolidation, normally it takes a lot of time, and the information which came from different locations, there is a sufficient chance that the information might have been manipulated. And during the process of consolidation also, things of advertently or inadvertently, data loss or information loss may be there. So in this case, there is no internal control system, and there is always a chance to manipulate the information, and on the basis of those informations, if the management takes any decision, that decision is not always right. It is just a decision which is based on the past information. Suppose 15 days back we call for the information, after 15 days only we are getting the information in a consolidated form and know that this is the position of stock, but this stock position belongs to the 15 days back. Really the position today is somehow different. So the data of the 15 days back, if we take any decision, that decision will not be correct. So there is two things. First, it takes a lot of time. Second thing, which is very much a threat to the business, that is manipulation of data or information. So once a ERP software, because all the locations, why these things happens in this case? Because different locations, they were using different softwares, and informations extracted from the different softwares from different locations has to be sent to the central location, and then it is consolidated. But ERP software is a single software where all the business process is integrated. What are the business process? A particular business organization will be having different types of process, like your manufacturing process, marketing, finance process, sales and distribution process, managing of the human resources, material management. So these are different business functions, and every business function will be having different process. Okay, business process. So all this business process, the information or data is generated. All these departments or all these departments who are taking care of their typical business process, they always create millions, trillions of data. In a multinational company, every department, every day, millions, trillions of data is created if the business is scattered all over the world. So there is an explosion of data or informations. But when a ERP software is implemented for the business operation, in a single software, all the data, all the informations are captured, and normally you know that a business will be having a business cycle, and departmentally every department is related to other departments. Let us take an example. Suppose a business is a manufacturing business. So in a manufacturing business, we may say that the first process is procurement of raw materials. So once the raw material is procured, then it is sent to the manufacturing department for production. Then after it is produced, they go for the quality check, and then these are stored. Then the marketing people lift the goods, or marketing persons, they get the order, and finally deliver the goods is delivered to the customer, and finally the finance department is concerned with getting money from the customer. So there is always a business cycle, and all the departments are related. So once the SAP software is implemented, then in a single software, the business cycle or business process or operations, datas, all the datas can be captured. And the best part of ERP software is, or SAP is, that once anything is punched into the SAP system, that cannot be manipulated, that cannot be modified, that cannot be deleted. And any information which is punched into the SAP system, that is saved in the SAP memory with a stamp, time stamp, as well as a time and date stamp, as well as the ID, or your every user who are there in the software, ERP software, whether it is SAP or any ERP, everybody will be given a identification number. Logon, there will be a user credentials, there is a login ID, and there is a password which is confidential to that user. So any user who is working in the SAP software, any data he generated, he or she generate during the process, that is always saved with a date and time stamp, as well as the ID of that particular fellow, particular user. So later on, that data cannot be deleted. The best part is the data cannot be deleted. Regarding the finance, I can say if you pass a wrong entry, then you can reverse the entry, but you cannot delete the entry. But in Tally or any other software, you can easily delete anything. Okay, but in SAP, you have to pass a reversal, then another correct entry you have to pass later on. So this is the best part of this ERP software. And all over the world, so many ERP softwares are there, but SAP is the oldest ERP software, and SAP is the mother of all ERP softwares, because it has been started in the year 1972. Only after 1980s, some more numbers of ERP software, some more ERP companies, they came and prepare their ERP software. But SAP, whenever they prepare the software, they always prepare the software as per the what is there in the SAP. They followed it. Basing on the SAP systems and practice, they prepare different kinds of ERP softwares. But still SAP is the market leader, because it is the oldest one. It is the time tested ERP software all over the world. What is time tested? Because you know that any software which is invented, which is prepared for the business operation, they have to be finally used by the business houses, different business houses. Once this is used by different business organizations, then the real litmus test with the software happens, whether that software is capable of fulfilling the business process operational requirements, whether the informations or reports which are required for the business houses, the software is able to generate or not. And the best part is, the companies or the organizations who opt for the software, they always give the feedback. And same thing is started with the SAP also. When it is started in the 1972, it was started by 5 numbers of consultants, or 5 numbers of technocrats belongs to the company IBM. Actually, I have already mentioned the name of these 5 technocrats who are the ex-employees of IBM. Actually, they were working in the IBM. IBM is a software company, international business machine. And when these 5 persons who are working in IBM, they feel in the year 1972, they feel that every business house needs a integrated software, because at that time 1972, very few companies they would be having using computers, and they will be using softwares, very few. But in those days also, these five technocrats, they feel that business houses should not use different softwares for their business operations, but they should use a integrated software for their business activities or business operations. So therefore, they resigned from their job in IBM and they started their new company. Okay, they resigned from their job and started their new company, that is SAP company, and start preparing an ERP software. Before that, there was no concept of ERP softwares. Okay, so actually the name of the company SAP SE, it was the previous name was SAP AG, but in the year 2014 the SAP AG, the word AG was removed, and in place of AG the word SE was used. Why these things happens? Because before 2014 SAP AG was registered in Germany. Okay, but in the year 2014, you know that Germany is a strong contender, a strong part of the European Union. Okay, there is a European Union, you know that the war which is started between Ukraine and Russia in relation to this European Unions only, because Ukraine was gradually interested to join the European Unions. Okay, European Unions are the union of country belongs to Europe, and Germany is a strong part of that. But in the year 2014, this SAP company, they deregistered from the Germany company as per the Germany rules and regulations. They delisted and they again registered the company under the European Unions. So by this process, there is a custom, and there is a as per the European Union Companies Act, any company which is registered under the European Union, they have to use the word SE after their name. But if it is a Germany company, it has to use the word AG after the name of that company. So in the year 2014, when it is again registered on the European Union, then the word changed, SE instead of AG. Okay, so these five technocrats finally framed that company. So though it was started from the year 1972, but till now SAP is the market leader, and out of the total ERP software market all over the world, around more than 60% of the market share is occupied by the SAP. Okay, so rest of the 40%, there are 100 numbers, maybe more than that, players, ERP software vendors or software companies, but 60%, around 60% of the market is still occupied by the SAP, because it is the mother of all ERPs, it is time tested, and it can be implemented or it can be used in any kind of undertakings, any kind of organization, whether it is a manufacturing, whether it is a service, whether it is a educational institutions, hospitals, banks, anything. So but from 1972 till 2022, there is a long journey of this software. And you know, in case of information technology, if something is happened from a very old age and we are in a present age, then we call it that in how many generations this particular technology or this particular information technology kind of things has been passed in how many generations, because whether it is a software or whether it is a hardware, that always goes through the process of evolution, process of change. Because you know that 30 years back the computer hardware or the computer was different, and after some years, then there was some changes, modifications, advancement. So SAP software in 1972 and SAP software in 2022, there is a hell and heaven difference. 1972, it was just a primitive version of ERP. Okay, so it was such a kind of ERP in the primitive version that in those days only finance activities, material management, stores related activities, and somehow marketing related activities. Only say these 2-3 activities business process could be taken care of in SAP software. But later on, more and more additions was there, more and more departmental activities could be included in the SAP software, and by the use of this SAP software in different varieties of business organizations, lot of improvements happens so that it will fulfill the requirements of different organizations in different situations. It can cater to the needs of different business houses. Okay, so 1972 to 2022, we are in the fourth generation of SAP actually. Already 3 generations has SAP, 3 numbers of generations of SAP is already over. Now we are in the 4th generation. So one by one let us discuss. In the first generation of SAP, it was in the year 1972. This is the first generation of SAP. We call it the first generation. And the first generation of SAP software, it runs on mainframe computer. So let us understand what is mainframe computer. Actually, software is meant for what? Software has always to be installed in a computer, okay, in a computer system, then only it will work. But for the first time in the year 1979, a kind of computer was there at that time in 1979, which was called the mainframe computer. So mainframe computer, the size of a computer you cannot imagine, it is more than half of a room. Okay, so today's computer and the mainframe computer, there is a huge difference. You can't imagine the size of a computer occupies more than half of a room size, big room size. And once the computer is installed at a particular place, nobody can move that mainframe computer from one place to another place. So in those mainframe computer at those days, SAP software was successfully installed and SAP could run in the mainframe computer and could generate the report, process the information, and finally could generate the report. So that was regarded as the first generation of SAP. And the second generation of SAP, we recognize it in the year 1992. So again I am telling something regarding the mainframe computer. When that mainframe computer was in force, that was only used for the business data processing and generation of reports. But in those days, 1979, there was no internet technology. Okay, there was no internet technology like today's date. At the present time, all the systems, all the computers can be linked from one place to another seamlessly through the internet technology. But in the mainframe computer, in those years, there was no internet technology all over the world. There was no concept of internet technology. Okay, but in the 1992, that is the second generation of SAP, internet technology was there in the world. In prominent locations, countries, internet was available. Okay, so when the internet technology was there, then there was also a radical change in the SAP. So what was the radical change? In the mainframe computer, when internet technology was not there, the user has to come and sit before the computer, and that by working on that computer, the data is processed and the report could be generated. But when the internet technology came, then the architecture of the SAP becomes 3-tier. So what is 3-tier? 3-tier means at 3 different places things can be placed. For example, the user can sit at a particular place, the software can be kept, SAP software can be kept at a different place, and the database means where the data is saved. That is called database. Because SAP software, whenever SAP software will be used, it will generate millions, trillions of data. So for keeping the data, we require another software that is called database software. Actually, there are two kinds of softwares. Let us understand, let us remind, we know it, yet I am describing. There are two types of software. One is your operating system software. Second one is your application software. So what is operating system software? Operating system software is those software which operates your hardwares, because your computer consists of different hardwares like your RAM, hard drives, your mouse, keyboards, your display units. So these are different hardwares. When all the hardwares are combined, then we call it a computer system. But for booting of the computer or for running of the hardware, we need also software. And that software is called your operating system software. The best example of operating system software is your Windows and its different versions, like Windows 2000, Windows 2002, 2010, Windows 2000. These are the different versions. And there was another Windows XP was also there. It was also one operating software. And these Windows softwares, Windows and different versions, they were useful for running of the hardwares. Without those Windows, your system will not boot. In case of mobile technology also, there are operating system software. You know Android software. So what is this Android? Android software is a operating system software. Without Android, your mobile cannot boot. But even if you install the operating system software, whether it is Windows in the PCs or desktop laptops, Androids in mobile phones, that is not the end. Only booting of the mobile phone is not sufficient, but we need something more. So what we need? We need application softwares. And in mobile technology, these are called apps. Applications are, in shortcut, they are called apps. So once you go to the Play Store, you can download so many applications. And what are the usefulness of these application softwares? Application software really helps you to accomplish your task, accomplish your activities. Similarly, in case of your desktop or laptops, you will find the Microsoft and its different versions, like your Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Access. So these are the different application softwares which are used in the computer system. And in mobile phones, there are thousands of applications or apps in the Play Store where you can easily download. But when SAP is used, it requires another kind of software, that is called your DBMS, database management system or database management software. Why? Because when SAP is implemented, they also need operating system software, application software. SAP itself is a application software. Okay? So SAP itself is a application software. Why? Because it is such a software which is used for business applications, business operations, business functions. But this business application or business function, it creates data, informations. So this data or information has to be kept in logical database, because once this information is processed, information is punched into the SAP system, it has to be kept logically in rows and columns. So where it will be stored? It will be stored in another software which is called your database management software. Normally worldwide, Oracle database is the famous one, and they are the pioneers. So for running of the SAP, we require operating system software, and SAP itself is an application software. But in addition to that, we also need database management software like Oracle, where the processed data is kept in logical database. So this is the second generation of SAP. So in the second generation, what happens? Due to the internet technology, people can be sit at another place, which is called client. Okay, people or end users, they are called client, and your SAP software can be kept in a different server at a different place, and the database server where the data actually saved, that can be also kept in another place. So these three places can be connected through the internet technology. Okay, so that was possible due to the second generation, and in the second generation these things was possible due to the internet technology. In the year 2004, which is called the third generation of SAP. In third generation of SAP, SAP successfully taken over small companies. Okay, and it is called SAP, and they come up with the another modifications in their software, which is called ECCs, SAP ECC versions. The full form is Enterprise Central Component, because the software, SAP software becomes robust, because they take over so many small companies and their utility softwares and applied or merged with the SAP software. So it becomes robust, and that is the third generation. In the fourth generation, that means the present generation, there was a radical change, and that radical change was also due to the changes in information technology, due to the hardware changes. So what is the radical change? In previous generations, it was not able to access the SAP through the mobile phones, iPhones or iPads. Okay, but nowadays most of the users will be having mobile phone, iPhones and iPads. So they may want to connect with the SAP software to get the information or to see the report, but that was not possible. But in the fourth generation of SAP, that was very much possible. Your mobile phones, iPhones, iPads can be connected with the SAP server. You can run the SAP softwares through mobile phones. You can generate the reports, see the reports. Second thing is, in previous generations, SAP has not its own database. They have to depend on the third party database like Oracle and others. But in the fourth generation, SAP come up with its own database management software, which is called HANA database. So HANA database is the one database of SAP. So nowadays, if some company, any company wants to implement the SAP, they have to obviously purchase the operating system software, then SAP software, then database. They don't have to go anywhere. They can get the SAP HANA database instead of Oracle database. And the HANA database is much faster than Oracle database, because this HANA database, they keep the data on RAM only, not in the hard drive. Because Oracle, the data is kept in the hard drive or hard disk, and hard disk is a cold storage. Retrieving the data from the hard disk, it takes a lot of time. But keeping the data in the RAM itself, which is a random access memory, that means RAM will be used as a storage media. That is only possible due to the HANA database. HANA database is written in such a way, logical way, that this database can keep the data in RAM instead of hard drive. So retrieving of the information or data is very much faster. The system becomes very fast. Processing is 1000 times better than Oracle oriented system architecture. So, and second thing is, the SAP can be accessed from mobile phones, iPhones, iPads. So that is the latest generation, fourth generation of the SAP. Okay. Then let us go to the SAP three-tier architecture. Whether it is HANA database or previous database, Oracle database, the architecture remains constant. SAP is having a three levels of architecture. So what is this three level? The first level is your presentation layer. Presentation layer means how the SAP software is uh, looked, or how it looks like by the end user. How end user see the SAP software front end, the front end of the SAP software, or how the end user will do the interface of this software, that is called presentation layer. That means how that software will look like to the user. And the middle one is your application layer. So what is the meaning of application layer? Application layer means the middle place where really the SAP software works. And the last layer is your called database layer. So what is the use of this database layer? Database layer stores the data. So in the middle, the brain of the SAP applies. Okay, so if the user has to process the data, that processing of data is through the middle layer, and after processing it throws the data to the database. If the user wants something, then it puts a command, and through that command this application layer or SAP software brings the data from the database, convert it into the requisite rows and columns, requisite report, and present it to the user. So this presentation layer is called the front end, the thing which is looked by the end users. Middle one is the application software, that means SAP software itself. And the third layer is called your database layer, where the data is actually stored, and time to time, as per the command of the user, the application layer retrieve the data and convert the data as per the required format and present it to the person who are sitting at the presentation layer. Okay, so this is the three-tier architecture of SAP. So I have already discussed regarding the three-tier architecture. Then we will go to the next one. The next one is SAP system landscape. So what is this system landscape? Normally, when SAP is already implemented, going to be implemented in any organization, SAP software is going to be implemented in any organization. Normally, there are three kinds of servers. The first server is called your development server. Second server is called your production server or quality server. And the third server, this is called your quality server. And the third server is your production server. So what does it mean? Why there is three servers? Minimum three servers are required for the SAP system. Why? Because whenever any organization decide to use the SAP software, that cannot be done overnight. In that case, a company or a group of persons who are called consultants belongs to normally software companies, they will be called for. They will first do the implementation program of SAP in your organization. The process of implementation may be very long. It may take years together to implement the SAP in an organization and to make the software live. Okay, so within this process, what these people do? These people observe your business process and do the customization of the SAP software as per your requirement, because every business differs from one to another. So what is your business process? They judge the business process and they prepare customizing the SAP software. Customization is nothing but it is just like a work of a tailor who make a cloth as per the requirement of the client. So the software, SAP software is very much flexible. The same SAP software can be applied in your mining companies. It can be applied in your chemical companies. It can be applied in manufacturing companies. It can be applied in your electricity distributions. So this software is versatile, and this versatileness, due to this versatileness, it can be customized. It can be cut short as per the requirement of your client. And all these customization activities, these are carried out in a particular server. Once the customization is carried out, it is transferred to another server for testing. Okay, after that customization, whether the requisite information, requisite report is generated or not, it is tested in another server. If it is okay, then it is transferred to the third server, which is called the production server. If it is not okay, then again it is customized in the development server, transferred to another server, that is quality server. And if it is okay, then it is transferred to production server. So this production server is such a server where only the qualified customization list comes. You know, in SAP there are different modules, different business process, because it is a ERP software. So number of consultants, they do the customizations and simultaneously test it and transfer it to the production server. And after all the customizations are tested and transferred to the production server, then on a particular date this production server is opened to work as a end user activities. This production server is opened for end users and they work in this production server or production client. Actually the word used is client. I have just make it easy by using the word server. Server is nothing, it is also client. So minimum there are 3 clients or 3 servers, but sometimes there may be more than that. Maybe there will be another server that is called sandbox. Okay, another server may be there which is called training server. That means all kinds of trainings and everything's in the SAP software that is carried out in the training server. But this production server is a live server. End users always work in this production server. Okay, once this production server is there, then development and quality server, they are normally locked. Whenever there is any fresh business requirement, fresh customization, then only this development and quality server is opened and fresh customization is done, again tested, again transferred to this production. Okay, so this is your system landscape. Okay, so if there are 3 servers, so there will be 3 clients. Okay, there might be 3 clients. So this is your regarding your client or servers. Then regarding this SAP is concerned, in SAP there are 2 numbers of technical modules. Apart from 2 numbers of technical modules, all the modules of the SAP are called functional modules, like financial accounting or FI. This is a module of SAP where all the financial activities is undertaken. Similarly, there is a module called controlling or CO, and combinedly we call it FICO, that means financials and controlling. Similarly, material management, sales distribution, logistics execution, production planning, quality management, human resource, these are different modules, and these are called your functional modules. Why it is called functional modules? Because it fulfills the requirement of different business functions. But there are 2 numbers of modules which are called your technical modules. Okay, one is your basis module, another is your ABAP module. So ABAP module, the full form is Advanced Business Application Programming. That means in SAP software, if you want to change the standard things which is there in the SAP, suppose there is a standard report. This report is having 10 numbers of columns and 5 numbers of say 10 numbers of columns, but you want to add some more numbers of columns in the reports, which is not available in the standard report design, which is available in the SAP. In this case, a particular consultant who are called ABAP consultant you can call for, and they customize a fresh one, adding your fresh requirements. Okay, they can design the report. So these people are called ABAP persons, and they are technical consultant, coding, decoding, everything they do it. But functional consultant, they do not do any coding, decoding. though they customize, but purely it is functional related. And another module is called basis module. Actually, this basis module people, they are system administrators, and they are concerned with the security aspect, communication aspect of the SAP system. Why? Because people are scattered in different places, and the internet technology, through the internet technology, everybody works. So there may be always a chances of your information. There is a hanging of the software. There may be some kind of threat, security threat to users. So all these aspects, communication aspect, there may be disconnected or disruptions in communication from the server to user, because server is kept at a different place, user it at a different place. There may be disruptions between the connection, SAP connection, seamless connection of SAP. So in this case, the particular responsible person, module in charge, basis persons, they call for when this kinds of situation arises. So security aspect, your communication aspect, these are addressed by basis persons. Okay, so these are the things, three aspect. One is your modules, another is your middle one, this basis people work for the communication, and the third part is your database and operating system. So database and operating system with users, all these connections and security, everything is undertaken by the basis persons. Okay, then we will come to the SAP implementation phases. Suppose one organization decided to go for the SAP implementation. So in this case, they have to go for the 6 numbers of phases: project preparation, business blueprint, project realization, final preparation, go live, and production support. Just in a nutshell, I will tell all these things. First of all, it is your project preparation. So what is happened in project preparation? Suppose a company decided to go for SAP implementation. That means it has to call a software company who are specialists in SAP implementations. Like say may your TCS, Infosys, Accenture, these are the companies who have implementation wings, SAP implementation wings, and people are working there full time who are called consultants, and they are specialists in customizing the SAP software as per the business requirement. But before calling to these software companies, the business must find out what is the budget of SAP implementation, which version of SAP we are going to implement, which module we are going to implement, whether all the modules we implement at a time or phase wise we will implement, and some prominent modules, functional modules will implement, later on we will add more and more modules. So these things, this decision, budget of the SAP implementation process, hardware cost, software cost, implementation cost, all these things, these are decided in the first phase, that is called project preparation phase. And the second, in this project preparation stage also, the software companies are called for and given the task of implementing the SAP. And the second phase is your business blueprint. Once the software company persons or consultants they come, they prepare a business process document. For example, FI consultant, finance consultant, they prepare the business blueprint of the organization, finance business process they prepare. Similarly, controlling or costing consultant, they prepare the costing or controlling business process of the organization. Material management business process is prepared by the material management consultants. Similarly, SD consultants, sales and distribution. So all these module people, they prepare the respective business blueprints. Those are called business blueprints. In document, they prepare the documentations of the blueprint. Okay. Then the third stage is called project realization. In the realization phase, all the customization activities are undertaken as per the business blueprint, as per the business process decided and signed by the business owners. Then things of customization starts. This customization is started in the third phase, that is called project realization. In the final stage, that is called final preparation, in this final preparation we go for the testing of the softwares, final testing of the softwares, okay, and put the user training. All the end users, they are given rigorous training how to work in this particular SAP software, which is already tested and which is already ready. And in the fifth stage, that is called go live. So what is go live? What happens in the go live? In the go live, the legacy information or legacy data, for example, suppose before SAP Tally was there, so now today SAP will start. So for today, for starting of the SAP, what we need the opening balances. Opening balances of what? Opening balances of the ledgers, opening balances of customers, opening balance of vendors, opening balance of stocks, opening balance of assets, everything we require. Then only we can carry on the further business process, further business activities. So in the go live, we migrate all the balances, we upload all the opening balances, migrate the legacy data, and starts work in the SAP software. That is called go live. Then the last stage is production support. Once SAP is implemented and the day-to-day end users work in the after the go live, then also it requires some help to the end users. Sometimes, in spite of all these cares, some customization fault may be detected later on. So all these things has to be resolved by a group of persons who are called support consultants. Okay, so they always support the end users to accomplish the day-to-day work, and they always help the end users that there will be no hamper in the work, no hamper in the process due to the problem in the software. So that is called your production support. So let us go to the SAP software itself. I am logging on the software and I will show you the different parts of the SAP software, what thing is called what, and then you can easily detect that just a minute, I am just logging on. Okay, my software is visible. My SAP is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So this is the SAP software. Actually, this is called SAP home page. This is the first page. Okay, all the end users, they work in this SAP first page, but customization activities is not undertaken in this first page. So SAP software has different parts, different areas. The first area, this area is called menu bar. Like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, different menus are there. So here is also there are different menus. Okay, and the second area is called standard toolbars. Standard toolbars means in Word, Excel, PowerPoint also there are different tools. Here is also there are different tools. So in this left side of the toolbar there is a box and the cursor is blinking here. This is called your command prompt. What happened in the command prompt? Suppose you want to go to a particular SAP screen to do some work or for customization. You can go through the path or go through the transaction code. If you put a transaction code, you can directly go to that particular screen. For example, I want to go to a particular place for accounting JV entry. So for going to the JV entry, I can go to the path, come here, FB50. If I click on the FB50, then I came to this screen where I can pass a JV. Okay, but for going to that particular place, I can also directly put here FB50, okay, in the command prompt and enter. Once I put enter, I can directly land in this place. Okay, so this command prompt, if you put any transaction code, if you know it, then immediately you will go there. If you want to come back, then you can put \n in the command box and enter. So directly you can come to the home page. And this line is called application toolbar. Why it is called application toolbar? Because screen to screen this toolbars differs, but this is called standard toolbar because screen to screen this tool never differs. Let us just see, these are the toolbars. But suppose I am going to another screen, that is FB50 previous screen. See what is the toolbar? The toolbars changed. So standard toolbar, that is the difference between the standard toolbar and application toolbar. And this particular area is called your uh, uh, this is the naming conventions, okay, of the this particular screen, and this is called your title bar. Actually the title of this screen is SAP Easy Access, but if I go to the FB50, so what is the title? The title is enter GL account document company code GAA. So this is the title. This is the title of this particular screen. So that is called title bar. So under the title bar we got the application toolbar, and the middle area is called the work area. Okay, this area is called work area. Why it is called work area? Suppose I go to the FB50. So this middle area, actually I punch the informations or data. Okay, all the data entry happens in this middle area, so that's why it is called the work area. And the last part, bottom line, is called your status bar. So what is this? This is called status bar. It always gives you different kinds of notifications. Suppose I put enter here. So what happens? It is saying enter valid date. Why it is saying enter valid date? Because here the document date is not given. So it is, that's why it is giving a message or status. And the status may be in red color, which is the error, and if it is yellow, then it is a alert message. Red is the error message, yellow is the alert message. When there is red, the system will not allow to move further. If it is yellow, the system will allow you move further, but there may be some more errors come later on. So suppose this is the error message coming. How this error will go? Unless and until I will put the information, correct information here. Suppose I put the correct informations here, enter. So now this message goes, and another message comes for there is another message. Suppose that message will also go. Suppose I put here my company. Okay, that message is gone. Okay, so now that message is gone. So any error message, unless and until you remove that error, the message could not, the software will not allow you to go further. Okay, so this is the area this is the different parts of the SAP software. But this area we do not do any customization. For customization, we have to go to a backend of the software. So this area is called the customizing area. Okay, there are different places for different modules. For financial accounting, these are the areas where we do the customizations, and there are different nodes under which the customization will happen. Okay, similarly in your controlling or costing, there are different nodes, and we will do the requisite customization as per the business scenario. Okay, so this is the basics of your SAP overview and SAP software. So I will share the PowerPoint presentation immediately after the class. Maybe on the very next day I will share, as well as I will share the study materials in the soft copy. Okay, and this recording of all these proceedings of the class I will also share in the group. Okay, so you can save it in your devices, storage devices.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good night all of you. We will again join on Saturday I think
Yes.
by Saturday you will get the server access.
Okay.
Okay. We today
At
we
what time,
only
sir? Saturday?
uh, uh,
Timing?
Saturday there will be same timing. 8:30 will be
Okay.
there. So
Okay. Fine,
so
sir.
okay, I will inform regarding you. You can transfer the money for the server access. I think by Saturday all of you will get the server access. We have Padi sir, we have I have got the server for you today. So tomorrow we will
Okay.
set
Nice.
up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Very good, sir.
Okay, sir. Good.
Nice. Nice, first class.
Okay. Good night, sir. Good night to all of you.
Good night. Good night.